What is up, guys? This is my first video on the Creamy Crab YouTube channel, and this is gonna hopefully be my first and best series. Well, maybe not best, but you know. Anyway, this is my first series. It's gonna be rebuilding a team on Madden 21. It's gonna be a little different than other rebuilds you see. As you can see, the team officially is the Carolina Panthers, but yeah, this is gonna be a little different though than ones you see. First thing that's gonna be really different if you ask me, is I will not be playing any of the games. I will be watching them in Super Sim, but slowed down completely so I can see play-by-play, commentate them for you guys, you know, just to make it more fair on the CPU, maybe even more realistic. And it's more about team building than my actual personal skill. That's what I would prefer, right? Anyway, so let's load into this and let's get to know the team. While we're loading in here, I want to say one more thing as well. I'm gonna say it either way. Is that the other thing that's gonna be different is I'm not gonna use the trade system so much. I'm gonna more so focus on the draft aspect of it. I mean, I'll use trades if I have to, not if I have to, but if I think is necessary. If I need a need now, or if I need more draft picks, or I need to clear, you know, anything it would be normally, but like in normal series, you'll see people abuse the poor trade system in these games. I will not be doing that. I will be focusing more so on the scouting and drafting parts. So let's get to learn the team for the Carolina Panthers for this rebuild. Teddy Bridgewater. He's the newly acquired quarterback. In the offseason, they acquired him instead of Cam Newton. He hasn't been really good, lately in his recent years, but I mean, he could have a comeback here. So yeah, I mean, that's quarterback. We have Will Greer in the backup. I don't think he'll be playing unless Teddy Bridgewater gets hurt. If anything, I want to kind of develop PJ Walker out of the XFL. I would like to see him do something in this league, and yeah, that's the main reason I would kind of want him there, as the second string quarterback. I don't think he will get it because Will Greer is obviously technically better. Anyway, on to the next position. Halfback, we obviously have the most talented, best halfback in the league in Christian McCaffrey. He's the best. He can catch. Oops, did not mean to do that. Come on, yeah, he can catch, he can get yards off the catch. He had a 1,000 yard season last year. Best halfback in the league, period. He's possibly the best, one of a top 10 already, just from last season alone. But behind Christian McCaffrey, we have almost no depth. We have Mike Davis in the second string. He's not, you know, awful at 75, but he's not great. Now, receiver is a little weird because I do like DJ Moore, I do like Curtis Samuel, but I don't like Robbie Anderson. He seems to be, he's in his prime, and it doesn't seem like he's gonna do much in his prime. He doesn't seem like he's gonna be that much of a receiving threat out there. I don't know if I'm gonna trade him, keep him, to release him. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Robbie Anderson yet. Now, onto something that we do need badly is tight end. A 70 overall Chris Manhertz just isn't going to do the job. This, I don't know if I'm just going to deal with it for this season, or if we're going to handle the tight end situation this year, or what. But I'm going to decide all of this eventually on what we're going to do. So yeah. And then, now onto the offensive lineman. Russell Okung, not bad. I mean, he is old, though, going into his 11th year. Guard, this is where it gets bad. A 68 overall right guard is starting at left guard. Guards aren't very good on this team, though. But center's the bright spot of it with an 81 overall. Not that much of a bright spot, but, you know, best what we got on the offensive line. Right guard is the worst position on the team for, it might be just overall. I know it is for the offensive line, not good at all. He needs to be. I think I'm going to need to address this year. That's probably what I'm going to do for right guard, is address that. I don't know about left guard, maybe, probably. I'm going to address a lot of offensive line issues this year. Taylor Moton is the second best offensive lineman player on the team. He's only in his going into his fourth year. So I like this guy. I see he could be a really good right tackle for us for a couple years. At right end or left end, my apologies. Brian Burns, a second-year player. He did great last year. Well, not great, but he did good last year. He played more outside linebacker last year, though, and they moved him to end. I don't know if this would be a better fit. If it isn't, I'll try him back at linebacker, maybe. But yeah, I like Brian Burns. I think he could do something. Yeah. At right end, we have Yatir Gross-Matos. I don't know if I'm saying that right. The rookie out of Penn State, right end. I have no idea about any. I know nothing about this dude. I know he wasn't a high draft pick, but 74 overall, pretty good. For being a later draft pick, I guess. So yeah, I mean, yeah. At D-tackle, we have the defensive anchor of our team. The second best player on this team, besides Christian McCaffrey, Kawan Short. Hasn't done much. I apologize for that. He's been the second best player since Luke Kuechly was on the defense. He's gone now. He's the new best player on the defense since James Bradberry is too. Even then, I think you could argue Kawan Short was the best player on this defense. And then behind him, you got the rookie, Derek Brown, who was drafted with the 7th overall pick in the NFL draft. This guy could do big things. He was tearing it up in college. I like the odds of this guy doing well in this league, especially on the Buccaneers and not Falcons, because they have good interior linemen. Maybe the Saints, honestly. I like what he can do against their divisional opponents. Outside linebacker, Tahir Whitehead, big issue. He's not good. 8 years in the league, close to 30, if not 30. I don't see this guy doing anything. I kind of want to get rid of him, maybe get more draft picks, but then we would have a Darius Taylor there, and I don't know. I would rather Tahir Whitehead just for maybe this year. Middle linebacker, Shaq Thompson, hasn't been good since the what's the word I'm looking for? Leave, I guess you could say, of Luke Kuechly, the retirement. That's the word I was looking for. And then we have Andre Smith as their second one. He's not good. Only going into his third year, but he's not good. So linebacker is a big issue for all three, especially right outside linebacker. Jermaine Carter, he fits with the scheme apparently, but the scheme might switch depending on if the players actually fit with it. Jermaine Carter, I don't like. He's going into his third year at a 69 overall. We aren't going to focus train him. I don't see him doing much. Cornerback, with the departure of James Bradberry, we have Dante Jackson at corner 1, Eli Apple at corner 2, and then TJ Green at corner 3. I like Dante Jackson. He could do something maybe with a 96 speed. Eli Apple hasn't done much in the last few years, and then TJ Green just is irrelevant. Free safety, we have Trey Boston, about 27, 28 years old. He could do something this year, maybe in the next few years of this series. Strong safety, Jeremy Chin, rookie out of Southern Illinois. He's apparently one of the better safeties. That's what everyone was saying. He was the better safeties in the draft. He obviously wasn't the best, but yeah, everyone says he's good. So yeah, that's the depth chart of the team, and let's get more into it. Let's talk more about schemes and coaching for this. So where do I go? Oh, here we go. There we go. So I'm gonna try and figure out what scheme would work for these guys, which one has the best fit, and yeah, and you're about to see it too, when I come back and find it. Okay, guys, I'm back. I found the defensive, or not the schemes, offensive and defensive, for that would work best. West Coast zone run is the best scheme fit for our team. I don't know how, it just is, obviously. And then something I don't ever run, but because so many people fit in it besides the ends, a 4-6 defense, my fault. And I get why it doesn't. Look at the description of it, you know. But that's what we're going to be running for this, mainly. For offensive and defensive schemes. They fit the most. So, yeah. And then a few more things we should talk about is our division rivals and our schedule. Let's talk about the schedule because we can fit in the division rivals in there. Preseason, not going to do anything with the preseason. Doesn't matter. This year, anyway. Week 1 we have against the Raiders, and then we have a divisional game against the Buccaneers with their Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Their offensive line isn't great, but our defensive line isn't great other than the D tackles. So, I mean, we have that. Chargers, that's a winnable game just because their offense isn't that good. Their defense is really good, though. And that kind of is what scares me about this team. The Cardinals, they have a really good team, honestly. Just, it's got to develop. Give it 2-3 years. They're in the playoffs. I could see it. Maybe not because the NFC West is such a hard division. The Atlanta Falcons, one of our division rivals, their team is kind of old. Their biggest stars in Julio Jones and Matt Ryan are getting up there in age. I mean, they have Todd Gurley, but, you know, these teams could be a challenge this year just for our teams, unless we make some big trades. The Chicago Bears, that insane defense. Their offense isn't much, though, but that insane defense is just going to overwhelm us, I have a feeling. The Saints, a fucking great team. They're nuts. They're nuts. I don't think we're gonna win either of the Saints games. I gotta be realistic. I really don't think we will. The Falcons again, but in Carolina, you know, I already talked about them. The reigning Super Bowl champions. That offense is fucking nuts. Their run defense is the only issue on their defense, really. That's the main issue, really. And their run offense. Running for them is just not something they can afford. They're not good at. The Buccaneers again. We talked about them. The Lions. They have a good team, underrated, honestly. I mean, they don't do good any year, but, you know, they're underrated and stuff, and the refs fuck them over in real life, but they're underrated. The Minnesota Vikings, I don't know about this team. They lost a big asset in Stephon Diggs, but they traded for Yannick Ngakoue, but he'll still be on the Jags, as they haven't updated the rosters yet. Then we go into our bye week, about to face, I think, our last opponent in the AFC, in the Denver Broncos, coming off the bye week. This team's good, but we could win this game. We could definitely win this game. Packers, hard game in Green Bay. I don't know about that. The football team, don't see us winning that. Actually, maybe. I think that's actually going to be a close game just because both our teams aren't that very good. And then we have to end the year with the Saints. That would be very bad for us because, well, if we're going to lose, and if we get playoff, which I doubt we will. I bet you the Saints are taking it, or the Buccaneers. You know. Anyway, that's the series. I'm not gonna be playing any games in this. I'm not gonna be doing any practicing. Whatever. I will be showing something real quick though. I will be showing that we are going to be focus training these 3 players. I like these 3 players being focus trained. Maybe I'll switch it to Gross Matos every week with someone else to be focus trained. But yeah, that's what this series is going to begin with. This series is about to go, if it can, I'm going to make it go as long as I can, 15, 20, 30 years. So if I win a Super Bowl, it's not going to end there. But yeah, and I'm going to coach the Carolina Panthers, hopefully, for as long as I can. So anyway, guys, that's my first video. Welcome to the Carolina Panthers Rebuild Series. I hope you guys will enjoy it as much as I will, and I will see you in the next video.